from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good evening. Want to make sure my audio is good, and it looks like it is. Good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash, still with you here in the JB Weather Center, where we've been all evening tracking the latest information, and we do indeed now have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued now for the entire region. All of those counties, they are shaded in yellow. This includes all of Calvert, St. Mary's, Charles, PG, and Arundel counties, as well as much of the northern neck, as we finally see this cold front move through. Now, for much of the afternoon, we've been talking about it looking like this severe weather risk was kind of a bust. It kind of fell through a bit, and for the most part, it did. What hasn't changed with this forecast is that we are continuing to look at. We're continuing to look at areas of strong storms. That is not exactly what I wanted. My apologies there. That we were still going to be looking at that cold front to move through in the evening hours with a lot of wind energy. The good news here is that we are not looking at a high tornado threat with what we currently have ongoing. However, we do have that risk of damaging winds across the region. I do want to get you inside William Richmond Inc. radar. See if I can't just try to pull that up here. Maybe this will work. Maybe there we go. This is kind of our dual screen here that allows us to really get into what we are looking at with radar. And what we can see is, if we take a look at the left side, these are going to be your winds, all right? So where we get those green pockets, look down towards the plate, right along 301, this region. These are going to be winds heading towards the radar, where we get areas that are shaded in red on the left-hand side of your screen. And actually, if I can just make this one panel, that's where we're looking at winds going away from the radar. So we are looking at some opposing wind fields here as we get close to 301 towards Popes Creek, La Plata, Waldorf, White Plains, St. Charles. I'm not seeing any strong indications of overly tight rotation. That's not to say that that can't happen, but what I am looking at are a lot of wind gusts up into this region, getting up close to 50 to 60 miles per hour for some locations. Up towards the DC area, we're looking at 60 to 65 mile an hour gusts, denoted here by this bright yellow, moving right through the Alexandria area, getting into Prince George's County, getting on up towards Washington, DC. The latest information we have coming in here from the National Weather Service, and I want to see if I can find a way to pull this up because it makes my job a lot easier if I can. There we go. So let's get to the latest information on these warnings. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Southern Anne Arundel, St. Mary's, Calvert, and southeastern PG County, along with Charles County until 9:45, so for about the next 30 minutes. At 9:02, severe thunderstorms at that point were located along a line extending from near Quantico to near Port Royal, moving northeast at 75 miles per hour. Y'all, these storms are booking it to the north and east. Those are not the wind speeds within the storm. That's just how fast these storms are moving. Main hazard are winds potentially gusting upwards to 60 miles per hour. Emergency management officials have confirmed those winds. If you can look down here, we have a little 62 icon. That tells us that we have, coming out of Quantico, a confirmed report of 62 mile an hour winds. Reports of wind damage up here through parts of Montgomery County. Trees down through Rockville, down towards the Potomac area, getting towards Bradley Farms. The National Weather Service highlights that damaging winds within these storms could cause some trees and large branches to fall, and this could injure those outdoors, as well as pose damage threats to homes and vehicles, and roadways could become blocked by downed trees. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Waldorf, Lexington Park, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, the Plata, Chesapeake Beach, Leonardtown, Prince Frederick, Piney Point, Tall Timbers, St. Indigo's Creek, Popes Creek, Howling Point, St. Leonard Creek, Town Creek, Sheridan Point, St. Clements Bay, St. Mary City, Greenwell State Park, and Breezy Point, and the Wicomico River. The National Weather Service is saying that this we should be taking tornado-like precautions with. Not that they are highlighting a tornado potential, but just given how strong the winds are within this line as it continues to move to the north and east here. And your eyes don't deceive you, north and west, that is snow across portions of West Virginia, Western Maryland, portions of Western Pennsylvania. I think the snow stays north of our region, but we will be looking at some wintry weather northwest of I-95 as this all begins to move out. Getting a brand new wind report in now from Reagan National Airport of a wind gust to 68 miles per hour. When we were just taking a look here, let me get you back over inside William Richmond Inc. TrueView radar. You can see where we were highlighting those areas of yellow. These are your strongest winds. Getting right into downtown DC. It's highlighting the potential of winds potentially gusting upwards to 70 to 75 miles per hour with this storm. And now we have that 68-mile-an-hour wind gust coming in from Reagan National. So that definitely does speak to the strong winds that are here. 66-mile-an-hour wind gusts from Dulles International. As all of this continues here to push off to the east, let's get you back to base reflectivity. And you can see the general motion here of these storms. At one point, did prompt a tornado warning down towards the Richmond area. No longer looking at that potential, though. This is going to continue here to push to the east as time goes on. We do currently have that severe thunderstorm watch that was just issued about an hour ago for areas south and east of I-95. Those are all of those zones there shaded in blue. That includes Calvert, Charles, St. Mary's, Anne Arundel, Prince George's counties, along with King George, Westmoreland, Essex, Northumberland. If I'm saying your county, right, you are included. Dorchester, Talbot, Caroline, all of these zones under the severe thunderstorm watch until midnight tonight. I really think our highest severe weather threat, though, west of the bay is up until about 10 o'clock. So I really think it's the next 40 minutes is the time period we are going to need to be watching as these storms try to get their act together and begin to try to move through. I do want to get a quick check. Cecil County not included in this, but I do want to get a quick update, and we're seeing some outage numbers begin to increase across the region. SMECO is reporting up to 434 customers without power. Looks like most of those are confined down into the Piney Point and Tall Timbers area. We do see some outages on over towards Cobb Island and on over towards the Palmfront area. I'm going to take a look at our NDOT cameras, see what they are able to show us. If anything, it's late at night and we're not exactly the most populated region here in southern Maryland with traffic cameras, but you know, it's worth a try. And actually, maybe even our Brandywine cameras could get us a look here at what's happening further north, so long as they load and work. Maybe not so much. Let's take a look in here. Let's get towards Suitland, Temple Hills. You know, these MDOT cameras are great when they want to work to give us a live look at really what we're looking at. Doesn't look like these puppies want to be too cooperative. I'm not sure our Leonardtown camera is going to give us much right now. And honestly, at this point, that is okay. We will just cut our losses for what they are. But for those of you just now tuning in, good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you in the JB Weather Center. We have been tracking the severe weather threat throughout the day. We note that this initial severe weather threat kind of busted. That forecast didn't come through as we thought it would, thanks to lingering showers and cloud cover that we'd highlighted yesterday. And this front not really having as much energy as we thought it would. However, as it now begins this final push through the region, we're seeing the realization of those we're seeing the realization of that wind energy here down at the surface, which has helped to promote widespread severe weather warnings this evening as this cold front moves through. If I were to put on temperatures here, you can just see how quickly temperatures are going to drop. 65 currently on over towards Leonardtown, back towards Culpeper, 46. 64 at Andrews, 45 at Fort Belvoir. So this front is going to drop temperatures quickly. We have 30s not too far back to the west. I can just show you the temperature map, and you can just see the gradient that exists. These brighter colors here denoting where we have 50s and 60s, and 23 back towards Oakland, 34 in Winchester. We do have a wind advisory in effect for the area, thanks to this cold front really ushering in those cold gusty winds from the northwest that could be gusting at times up to 50 to 60 miles per hour. However, we could be looking at higher gusts within these thunderstorms as they continue to push off to the east. one thing I want to note is that we're not looking at a lot of lightning with these storms, right? These are not tall thunderstorms. These are purely wind-driven thunderstorms moving through the region. Very typical for March. This is a much more level forecast, I would say, for this time of the year and for this part of the country. It isn't until we hit the summer months where we really start looking at hail threats and tornado threats for our region, because that's when we have the most amount of thunderstorm energy available across the region. Early on in the season, early to mid March, we're really looking at a primarily wind driven kind of setups, because we're just looking at the jet stream clashes and that fight between winter and summer. And that is well on display this evening. You can see northwest, that is where the snow is. South and east, that's where the severe threat currently is. And in the middle, you're getting some gusty rain showers in Frederick on over towards Gaithersburg. Resetting ourselves, though, we are continuing to track the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for all of southern Maryland until 9:45. Severe thunderstorms are continuing to move here to the northeast at about 40 or about 75 miles per hour. Let me get you into William Richmond Dink radar and really show you what we're tracking right now. And you can see how these storms have generally moved here over the last hour or so, marching their way across the Potomac River, getting here into southern Maryland. I would be interested to see. Looks like we are registering a tornado warning somewhere in the country. Um, and I'm not sure where that is. And it's just because I'm nosy that I want to know. All the way down in Florida. That's why I don't see it. And we can take a look at the base velocity here quick. Take a look at where those winds are rotating. And again, I'm not seeing strong wind rotation. It does seem like our strongest winds, big picture though, getting ready here in this yellow shaded zone to move into Seat Pleasant, District Heights, Morningside, Clinton, really moving there through the core of Prince George's County. I'd be on alert in Upper Marlboro, Harwood, Tracy's Landing, Shadyside, Highland Beach over the next 30 minutes. We're still looking at gusty winds to the south here. I mean, radar is definitely picking up on gusts getting up towards 50 to 60 miles per hour. Thankfully, we're not looking at a lot of rotation with this, which is always good news. That's something we always have to watch as these storms cross over the Potomac River. The lack of land and the increase of water will decrease the friction, and that really allows for storms to spin up quickly over water. That's why we see so many water spouts, and that tornado threat here in southern Maryland almost always originates as a water spout. Because you can quickly get those spin ups over the water that then just translate on land and can quickly produce an EF0 or an EF1 tornado. Again, we're still a bit early in the season to be seeing that. Not that we can't see that this time of the year, but this is not the setup that's going to be producing that, as we have noted throughout the day today. But we're going to continue to track this. Severe thunderstorm warnings also remain in effect to the north for portions of PG and Arundel counties up towards Baltimore. At 9:12, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Milford Mill to near Fort Belvoir, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. We know that this is now moving through PG and northern parts of Anne Arundel County. Confirmed 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts. We saw that over there at Reagan National. Damaging winds with this storm will cause trees and large branches to fall, and this could injure those outdoors, as well as damage homes and vehicles. Roadways may become blocked by downed trees. Localized power outages are possible. Unsecured light objects could become projectiles in this kind of a situation. Locations to the north that would be included in this are Baltimore, Columbia, Waldorf, Bowie, Severn, Annapolis, Clinton, Pikesville, College Park, Crofton, Middle River, Fort Washington, Greenbelt, Elk Ridge, Riviera Beach, Forestville, Largo, Coral Hills, Bladensburg, and Mayo. For your protection, you want to make sure that you're in that building. The National Weather Service is suggesting potentially taking tornado safety precautions. Not that I'm worried about a tornado right now, but that just speaks to how strong these winds are that are moving through the region. Getting a couple questions here, focusing back down into southern Maryland. I will bring us back on over. Let's take a look. Let's get back here. Get back into what we're looking at. And really the core of this storm right now really seems to be sitting over the La Plata region, headed over towards Hughesville. This is not a long-lasting system where you're going to see just severe weather for 20 to 40 minutes as these move through. These are booking it north and east at about 60 to 75 miles per hour. Within them, they also have 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, but This will likely make it to the bay here by about 10 o'clock or so. Once we hit that point, this any severe weather risk from damaging winds will come to an end, thankfully. But we've seen a decent bit of rain across the region. I mean, this is a look at general rainfall, up to an inch for many zones. These blue stripes here show us where we've seen rainfall exceeding over 1 inch. So we've seen a decent bit of rain as all of this has moved through the mid-Atlantic today, definitely making for kind of a sloppy day across the region. But we will hold on to the severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect here until midnight tonight. And it's really just this narrow line of storms that has helped, that has bubbled up as the cold front has crossed over the mountains, has continued to move to the east. And it's a narrow stripe of thunderstorms. This is not, a long line, nor is it a wide line, right? You're going to see these storms move in and out. Those in Fredericksburg can tell you that it lasts about 5 to 10 minutes. Those probably on out towards Indian Head and Pomfret can probably tell you that as well. But storms are going to be able to produce winds up over 60 miles per hour very briefly. We've already seen those 68, 66 mile an hour wind gusts at Reagan National and Dulles respectively, 62 down towards Quantico. And yes, a weak spin up is possible. I would be more concerned about that further south of our region, though, getting into central and southern portions of Tidewater, Virginia. Southeast of Richmond, getting down towards Virginia Beach and that region. But again, we're not looking at a severe weather outbreak with this line. And if I take you back into William Richmond Inc. radar here, you can really see this long line of storms. Let me take temperatures off here quickly. Even the storm reports, you can see how these warnings and all of this action extends from Baltimore straight down through our region, through Tidewater, Virginia, all the way down into North Carolina. And I'll let this play through. It's going to have to render a little bit, so it'll get a bit jumpy here. But as it does so, what I will tell you is that all of this is moving north and east. It's going to be out over the open water by midnight tonight. Areas all the way out towards Ocean City and Lewis, on over towards Cape May and Atlantic City are included in the severe thunderstorm watch going through midnight tonight. And that's going to be really the story. Once we hit midnight, a lot of this is coming to an end for all of us. I mean, especially west of the bay, by 10 o'clock, we're going to be good to go. And you can see as radar starts to fill in slowly but surely the evolution of this radar loop. One brief tornado warning on over towards the Richmond area earlier this evening. But even down there, that warning and that watch has already been canceled, and this line is quickly making its way through our region. I do think that very quick power outages, rather, are definitely going to be possible with this. We could see that spike up quickly thanks to an initial gust of wind. SMECO has very much been on it these last several weeks with all of the weather that has moved through, whether it's winter storms or severe weather, on top of the power outage situation. So I don't think we are talking long-lasting outages. I don't think this is going to be a situation in which we're looking at outages that can peak at like 20,000 customers without power. But with that said, some isolated outages will be possible because 60 to 70 mile an hour gusts are definitely going to be putting down some damage as they blow through the region. So we're going to continue to watch all facets of this, getting some additional reports of power outages. I'm going to go back to that SMECO outage map, see what it is we're able to gather from it. And we're currently sitting about 1,000 customers without power, and it's easy to see on this map where this front has already gone through. Areas west of 301, Pittsburgh down towards Ironsides, Marbury, up towards Indian Head. These are regions that have seen the front move through, that we've seen outages get recorded. Yeah, we're looking at many zones, the 20646, over 100 customers without power. And keep in mind, a customer could be a household of 4. It could be a business, right? So these are likely outages affecting at least 4 times the amount of people that then you see on that customer's out number right there. That is just a general idea. With that other outage down towards the Piney Point region, down towards Tall Timbers. I'm not sure that's necessarily related to the severe weather aspect. I don't know if this was going to give me that information, but tells us that they're working on it, and it looks like restoration is by 11:18 tonight. So you are well on your way there, and hopefully we indeed are. As this continues to move through, temperatures are going to plummet tonight. Looks like we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of the eastern shore. This brand new yellow polygon. The National Weather Service in Mount Holly has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Talbot County, Queen Anne's County, Western Caroline County, and Kent County until 10:30. And again, that just tells you that they're expecting this storm to be almost to the Delaware Maryland line by 10:30. So this is definitely going to clear our bay here over the next half hour. But at 9:30, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from Odenton to 6 miles west of Golden Beach, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour, potentially looking at winds gusting upwards of 70 miles per hour with this. Radar indicated, but at 9:12, Washington National Airport did record a gust to 68 miles per hour. We are going to expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. And that again, that's in effect for portions of the eastern shore. Still looking at this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Maryland, as well as Tidewater, Virginia. I don't want to forget our followers in Richmond and Essex and Northumberland counties and Westmoreland County. You all are, and I think that it's like Lancaster County all the way south. You all remain under a severe thunderstorm warning until 10:30 as well. At 9:10, this line was moving through with 60-mile-an-hour gusts. Right now, getting into the Acorn area, Haynesville, down towards Farnham. This is already passed through the Tappahannock region. This is getting into Kinsale, Louisetta, Heathsville, Burgesses, Wycomico Church, Lancaster. All of these zones are going to be under the risk over the next half hour to an hour. But again, all of southern Maryland remains under that severe thunderstorm warning here. Areas, though, west of 301, areas such as Pittsburgh, Indian Head, Bennsville, Port Tobacco Village, Akankee, all the way up towards Clinton and Upper Marlboro. For the most part, I mean, Upper Marlboro is getting in on it right now, but Western Charles County, you're very much out of this. This is no longer a threat to you. You're looking at gusty rain showers continuing to move through, but this is not the core of the severe weather threat. Get you here back on over to our wind velocity version of radar, and what I want to take a look to see where these wind gusts are. And we still have this pocket here of higher winds headed into the Hall area of Prince George's County, just south of Woodmore, gusting upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour. Seeing that move into the Upper Marlboro region as well. We're also seeing it down towards Charles and St. Mary's counties. What is good to see, though, is that I'm not looking at any real rotation threats with this. Not really a threat when we look, I mean, maybe a quick spin up could be possible, which we saw down towards Richmond, but given the time of day that this is now moving through, not really a concern, as we're now starting to line these storms up really along the Patuxent River here. So getting ready to move into Calvert County, getting ready to move into Hollywood, currently moving through the Leonardtown region, California. You're due up next, Lexington Park. You'll get in on some gusty downpours. St. Mary City, Scotland, you are also about to get in on this. I know we have that outage down here towards Tall Timbers and Piney Point. You have a portion of this segmented line that's going to move through with 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts. So get ready. I mean, along our Bayside communities, from Scotland up towards St. Mary City, Lexington Park, Town Creek, Solomons, Cove Point, Drum Point, up towards Lesby, St. Leonard, White Sands, on over towards Prince Frederick, Willows, Huntingtown, Chesapeake, both of our beaches, Owings, on up towards Tracy's Landing and Annapolis, all just about ready to get in on some of this action. Some of the damage reports we're seeing come in, though, out of Alexandria. A tree is down onto the building of the 5500 block. Out there, we're also seeing... See, do you want to load for me? Maybe, maybe not. Power pulled down over towards Alexandria. Plenty of power outages coming in from Montgomery County. I want to see if we're actually able to load up a look at statewide outages. See what we're able to load up here. No. I mean, the map looks blank, but we're still able to get some information off of it. Frederick County has about 600 customers without power right now. St. Mary's County getting up there with over 400. Howard County up there. Not sure when the last time this was updated because this only shows 434 without power down towards the Smecco coverage area. But that does give you a general idea on kind of what we're looking at right now as all of this continues to move through the region. I would say that I think the heaviest and the most intense part of this line is probably what's moving through Anne Arundel and PG counties right now. South of that point, kind of south of Dunkirk, south of Hughesville, these areas, I mean, you're going to get in on some gusty showers and downpours, definitely warranting, I mean, up to 60-mile-an-hour gusts, but this isn't going to be the most intense part of the line. Get in on some additional more severe criteria rated wind as you head down towards the northern neck. But generally, this is kind of what we're looking at. This is, again, not a huge severe weather outbreak. We are talking about gusty winds moving through the region with this cold front. Back to the north and west, we're looking at snow. I'm up here near Harrisburg, so the snow is not too far away from me, and kind of looking forward to seeing a little bit of snow. I put up on Twitter earlier that I will always take forecasting a winter storm in the mid-Atlantic over forecasting the severe weather any day. I do not like forecasting severe weather, especially in this region, because it takes only one small thing to throw everything off. And it always seems to be that the smaller events, the ones that we don't keep tabs on because they look so minor, those are always the ones that overperform. And then these big synoptically driven, large-scale events are always the ones that tend to fall short of expectations, which, again, we won't complain about, right? If you look at some of my Facebook comments, you'll see some people complaining that they didn't get hit by an EF5 tornado, but, to each their own. But that's pretty much all I have for you right now. I feel like a broken record at this point. A lot of this is going to be through the region here over the next 20 minutes. Just stay safe, stay inside. Again, I don't think we're looking at, this is not a duress show. This is just a quick moving, low-topped squall line that will be in and out of here within about 5 to 10 minutes of it beginning in your region. So just stay weather alert. I will continue to have updates on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and the website jbweather.net, continuing to keep you and your family one step ahead of this active weather season that we are in. In the meantime, though, I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Thank you so much for joining me right now. Have a nice and safe one, and please keep it tuned right here to JB Weather for the latest information.
Check the forecast anytime online at JB